Hi everyone, welcome to the aftermath of Brighton versus Liverpool. James, what are your initial thoughts, initial reaction?
On paper, it looks pretty comfortable. Nice little 3-1 win there. Was a bit ropey during the first half, though, I thought.
Was it comfortable? No,
certainly didn't feel comfortable.
No.
But, happy with it.
Done.
Again, I feel like it was, said last time, it felt like classic Liverpool. Felt a lot like that again.
Yeah.
But there is a few talking points.
It was very much classic Liverpool. But thankfully, Mo Salah sort of killed the game off in the end, and then Liverpool were sort of in ascendancy for the last 15 minutes or so. But I'm sure we'll come to that. I think initial thing straight off the bat is what did you make of that team sheet?
So we both had the same prediction of team sheet, didn't we? So I believe the three changes to our prediction was Nico Williams, obviously for Robbo, Oxlade-Chamberlain for Mane, and Keita for, who did we say in midfield? Oh, Fabinho. So, starting with Nico Williams. Pretty solid performance, I reckon.
Yeah, he was alright. I feel like he came out, had a lot of decent moments. For most part did his job, but I feel like, he is younger. Was that his first start? I'm not too sure.
Premier League, I think so. I know he started in the FA Cup.
Yeah, I think it's his first start in the league that I can remember, so I feel like his nerves showed a bit. Granted, he is a very young lad, and it'll come with experience, but it was a very decent performance. I know he got caught out a few times on that left side, and then I think maybe the last time he did that led to the Brighton goal, and then he got booked. So I feel like it was probably best for everyone's interest that he was taken off at half time, which I think was no real criticism of his performance. Yeah. I feel like he did as much as you could have expected him to, granted his experience and his age. But I feel like that'll be fine.
Yeah, it's nice to see his versatility as well. Like, obviously, we've seen him in Trent's position, now we've seen him in Robbo's position, and he can definitely do it. I thought potentially the game got a little bit away from him towards the end of the first half, but it was a very fast-paced game. Like, despite them going behind so early, Brighton, they kept at it, and that role that Robbo and Trent play is like constant up and down. Like, Milner can't do it. You see the difference when Milner plays there, so it's a lot to expect anyone to be able to do it, and I do think fatigue was setting in a little bit there, so it probably was the best call to take him off.
Okay, so what I was going to say is, I guess like straight off the bat, two very, very quick goals. What did you think?
So starting with Mo's goal, I think the important point there was Keita. Like, Keita was on fire for the time that he was on the pitch. Yeah. I thought he was amazing. I probably would have gone with man of the match for Keita if he'd have played the whole game. So yeah, he stole the ball from their end, which, we did a couple of times. So a little bit ropey from Brighton in possession. Although actually looking at the possession stats, it wasn't. It was very close. It was 55% Liverpool. So I was expecting it to be like 70, but no. But yeah, so Keita steals, and then nice little assist in. Bobby, in my opinion, left that for Mo. I know tactically it was probably the wise choice because Mo definitely had a better shot on goal, but also props to Bobby for not taking a shot on there and giving Mo a chance to climb the leaderboard for the Golden Boot.
Yeah, I guess also props to his awareness that Mo was in a good position and waiting. It's a lightning quick start. Great goal, well done by Naby lad. And then, minutes later, Henderson had a pretty nice finish himself.
Yeah, I know that started with Keita. Was it Keita to Bobby? And then onto Firmino,
I honestly can't remember.
Onto Hando. Yeah.
I feel like I'm not too sure whether Salah got the assist for that in the end. But I know he sort of set it up for him. I mean, I think Keita was a very lively character in midfield. He seemed to be. I think all the good things about attack he was involved in,
which is good to see. Because there's a few people have got varied opinions on him, but actually I think he's a great player when he's on form as well.
But yeah, I feel like he really, really showed his qualities today. Like his link up play. I feel like him in midfield in that role today. I feel like if the front three need help from midfield or need creativity, I feel like he's the one to put in midfield. He's the one that will probably deliver it more so than the others. Probably Henderson will probably put in those really, really good defence splitting passes, and I feel like he's really good at that. Keita's probably maybe the best of the midfield group with his feet and for making those breaking runs forward. So so it was all it was all looking pretty good. 8 minutes in, 2-0 up, but I feel like Liverpool maybe expected Brighton to somewhat be a bit disheartened and drop their heads a little bit, but as soon as that happened, I feel like Liverpool sat back a little bit, and then Brighton were absolutely going for it. They were it felt like Liverpool were defending with their lives for a long time.
It did. I know you kept saying you were worried about that high line, and I think that, as you said, they thought, all right, let's have it now. Let's put them to the sword kind of thing. They were playing a very high line, and it almost went against them a little bit. I wouldn't entirely blame. I know we said just before the goal came down Nico Williams' side, but he definitely wasn't entirely to blame for that.
No, I mean, they were all pressed up that much, and I feel like whoever was left in the fence was very exposed on a number of counter-attacks. So I feel like by the time the goal came, it had been long coming because Brighton were well and truly on top by that point, and I feel like they had maybe at least 3 very, very close chances before they got the goal. And it was a very good goal, to be fair to them. It was a good shot.
Surprisingly, though, just looking at the stats, Liverpool had 8 shots on target and Brighton only had 2. So, despite all that, they only actually had 2 opportunities to put it away. Obviously, one of them they capitalised on, but yeah, they had 12 shots in total, but only 2 on target.
So half time came along, and I think I said to you, I think we were both in agreement that Nico Williams had to go off for Robertson purely to protect him. I feel like he was looking a bit nervous on that side, and when you're on a booking, the last thing you'd want him to do was get a red, because I feel like that would really knock his confidence in what I believe it to be his first Premier League start. I feel like he had a solid 45 minutes under his belt. That's good for him, and came off and gave Robert a run out, which I feel like certainly helped.
I think I was saying
things looked a bit better.
Saying last episode, Robbo potentially needed a break, so it was good to give him that, even if it was only 45 minutes.
Yeah. So I mean, I feel like it still would have been good. I mean, maybe that necessarily might not have been the plan. It might have been the plan anyway, but at least, solid half for Williams, and at least Robbo didn't play the full game, so hopefully, because I'd probably expect him to start on, was it Saturday?
Yeah. It wasn't worrying, nothing worrying anyway. There was potential there to be he's not really up to scratch, but it all looked good.
So I guess the game was a bit hit and miss for a little while then again, and I feel like very similar to the Aston Villa game. In fact, Klopp's substitutions on 60 minutes changed the game.
Yep.
I feel like in Aston Villa, I think he made a triple substitution this time. Who did he bring on?
He brought Mane on for Chamberlain and Fabinho for Naby lad.
And I think
we both discussed Fabinho was a must at that point.
Yeah,
Liverpool were
we both
desperately
wanted
on
Fabinho.
the back foot.
Yeah, and I feel like we were both in agreement. Whereas I feel like Keita up till that point was Liverpool's best player, and I thought he was on for man of the match performance. But I said, as much as I want him to stay on the pitch, I feel like for the good of the team, he has to come off to put Fabinho on, because I feel like the safest midfield is Fabinho, Gini, and Henderson. So I feel like we really, really, really needed to shore up, protect that, and to protect the defence and sort of get control of the midfield again, which I think it did.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
There were some flashes of Ox, but I don't really think him in that front three is the best role for him.
No, again, it's sort of like it brings up that whole issue of like, who do you replace the two wingers with? Because for me, I think I mentioned like every episode, Origi just doesn't do it for me on the wing. He's better down the middle, and Minamino, I want to become sort of like the protege for Firmino. So again, I think he's better down the middle. So I just don't know. Like, Ox has been tried a couple of times on that wing, and he's doesn't really do much with the opportunity.
I must admit, I mean, I don't really feel like Ox has been his best since the restart, to be honest. I mean, I really hope he keeps getting chances, because he is definitely a talent. He's just he's a bit cold at the moment. He's not firing on all cylinders for the Ox that he can be.
I definitely think he'd be capable of like changing the game if he was like an impact sub, like an on-form Ox, if things weren't working, especially if you had the likes of like Keita in midfield trying to be that like creative role and it wasn't working out, and then you swapped him out for like Ox, who, you know, is like the shoot on sight, sort of smashes them in from long range. Like, he definitely have the capabilities there of changing things up drastically. But yeah, he just hasn't really been on form of late.
So I feel like, so I was saying, like, after those substitutions were made, I really feel like Liverpool got much more of a grip of the game. I think Mane was certainly doing his bit. I saw him tracking back a lot and really, really helping the team out.
He got booked like a minute in, but other than that, he definitely did make a difference.
Yeah. Other than that, he did his job, and I feel like he was certainly much more of a threat, and it gave them defensively much more to think about, while Fabinho got much more of a grip of the midfield. And then I feel like Liverpool sort of it calmed things down, it slowed the game down a bit. I feel like Liverpool got a bit more control. They went on a bit of a spree. Like, there was a good few chances there. It looked like more sort of the attacking Liverpool that we like to see. Nothing really came of it, but it doesn't always, does it? As long as you're getting the chances, you're like, coming, something's coming. Yeah, they sort of went from so looking very, very nervy at 2-1 for a very long time to actually looking relatively comfortable at 2-1 for a while. And then from that, I think it was it straight from a corner?
Yeah, it was Robertson corner, and then a near post header from the Egyptian king.
To be fair, I mean, that certainly caught me off guard. I don't think it's often I've seen Mo get a headed goal from a corner, but he certainly did. It was a very good little goal. Sort of reminded me, I mean, I think it was a bit more across and a bit more near the corner flag than when Mane scored that very late goal against Aston Villa early in the season. But it's almost like a similar thing, like little, like sort of like near post, little cheeky header.
Yeah, and, not only does he not normally get headed goals, but that's a rough angle. I don't even know, maybe he even surprised himself there. But you know what? Good for Mo. What is he now? 3 goals away from the Golden Boot.
He's still in the pack. I don't know who Leicester have got to play, but I mean, it doesn't particularly matter, because I feel like at the moment, if Leicester play and if Leicester score, chances are it's going to be Vardy. So it's a matter of what will happen with Liverpool, because I'm sure Mane's going to be on any goals that they score in the coming games. I mean, I certainly expect Bobby to score before the end of the season.
I think he's going to be desperate at Anfield as well, Bobby. Just to sort of break. In fact, speaking of streaks, they have now at least finally broken that goalless streak in away games. It took them 6 minutes, but they did it.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't overly concerned. I think I said to you I'm not sure when it was, but as I said, like, if you look at the games that they've played,
yeah,
I think it was Atletico Madrid away. I mean, at the time they were one of like the hardest teams to break down. They're a very good team. Again, it was sort of like a half-strength team against Chelsea away in the cup that they weren't overly fussed on. We had Watford, which I don't want to talk about. Everton, who basically parked the bus and defended for their lives for 90 minutes, with a very, very lacklustre Liverpool playing, and a bit of a hungover party performance against Man City, which also didn't produce a goal. So but I mean, with early chances, so I mean, it was close, but yeah, I don't really want to talk about that one either. But yeah, Miss Nia, I can remember Milner coming on, but I didn't pick up that it was because Henderson was injured.
You didn't?
I didn't pick that up. No, I just thought he was coming on as a sub. I didn't actually say he was injured.
Yeah, it doesn't look like anything concerning, I don't think. I mean, he walked off, but I think he took a little bit of a knock, and then it was just a case of like Klopp taking the precaution. That's what it looked like to me, anyway. Yeah. I would expect him to play the next game. I don't think it was anything major.
Yeah, I mean, if not, I mean, it's good to see Milner back. I guess there's options in that midfield. Milner probably maybe could start that role for Henderson if needed.
If Liverpool had
we'll see how
gotten a penalty there, who do you reckon would have taken it?
It was 3-1. At 3-1, I reckon he would have given it to Mo
for his hat trick, and obviously
at 2-1,
an extra goal.
I think Milner would have taken it.
Yeah, I think only for the fact he was on for the hat trick, they'd have been like one. Yeah,
absolutely.
Because I think Klopp's the kind of manager where he'd be like, "Look, I'm not giving you 3 goals just because you're trying to get a golden boot," and he, would have absolutely still been Milner. But when someone's on for a hat trick, I think it's fair game.
Yeah, absolute. Well, I was going to say, fun fact that I've just read. Well, I don't know whether this is a fact. I'm assuming it's a fact because I've been told it. Let's hope it's a fact. After that, Liverpool have reached 30 league wins in a season, faster than any team in English history.
Impressive. So faster based on... Well, yeah, it must be per game.
I guess based on the games played, they've got to 30 wins, with games played quicker than anyone else, which is solid.
Yeah. Must have almost been a record for bloody yellow cards in that game as well.
There was a fair few, I think.
I felt like every time the whistle went, someone got booked. There was 4. There was 4 for Liverpool and 1 for Brighton.
4 for Liverpool. Right. Well, you know. So after Salah's second goal, I feel like Liverpool just went into like ascendancy a bit. They seem to have a lot of chances. There was lots and lots and lots of close chances. Near the end, I feel like Salah was very unlucky. He was really, really trying. He had a few very good chances, and he had that. I think it was another header. So there was a lot of good chances near the end, and had a little nice cameo from our boy Minamino. I was glad to see. 87
minutes he came on for Firmino in that middle role where I said I wanted to see him, and I think so. There was like 6 minutes at a time, so he had, give or take, he got about 10 minutes on the field, and I think it was a solid performance for those 10 minutes. He had two solid chances where he could have put it away, which is, you can't ask for much more than that in 10 minutes. He was unlucky not to get a goal.
Yeah, he's certainly came close. I was willing him to get a goal, but it didn't quite happen. But I'm sure it was very promising. He looked hungry, looked very alert. He looked ready. So I'm glad. I feel like I feel like he was given a bit of a chance at the end of this game, and I feel like he impressed. So I feel like he's definitely earned himself more game time. Hopefully next game, because he looked ready to go.
I think he could be. Obviously, it's going to be a while until he's like getting first team placements, because obviously Firmino is Firmino. But as a sub, I think he could be really, really impactful, because he's got amazing pace, and in them 10 minutes he was brilliant. So in that sort of role where we used to bring Origi on, like, I can imagine bringing Minamino on and just like it really opening the game up. So yeah, it's all hopeful, and obviously also as a great rotation option for Firmino as well, because I think he's very capable of doing it. But as you said, I'd like to see him get a chance next game. Maybe even a starting chance would be nice.
Well, I guess we'll look for on to next game. I guess nearer when we round this up. So yeah, lots of good chances overall. As you said earlier, on paper it was a comfortable win. It was far from comfortable from maybe the half an hour mark up until the 60-minute mark, but apart from that, it was a comfortable win.
Yeah, in terms of the stats, like, it seemed like a pretty decent game of football. Like, it was actually really, really even possession and touches and passes and everything, very even. It was just the shots, like 8 shots on target for Liverpool compared to 2 for Brighton. You look at that and you think they didn't really stand a chance there. So I think that, I also thought Brighton were looked pretty good. That
I know. I mean, I'll say,
what was his name? Lamptey, was it the young kid?
They played well.
Yeah, he looked really good.
They looked quick. They looked alert. I feel like they did a good job. I feel like Brighton can take a lot of positives from that game as the way they played. They played good football, and I think Klopp mentioned that in his pre-match conference that he Brighton have changed the way that they play football, and I think he was speaking quite fondly of the way that they play, which is very good. Do you have any thoughts on your man of the match?
Well, I know Mo got it. So, but I'd agree with that. He got the 2 goals and he was almost on for a hat-trick. But what I will say is, just taking that first half into account, I would have absolutely gone with Keita. Thought he was on fire. So it's a shame that he had to come off when he did.
That would have been my. Based off the first half, would have been him. Overall, 2 goals. Salah looked very good. He looked very, very hungry in those last 15, and he looked damn good. So yeah, I think I'll have to give it to Salah. I would also made a note of special mention for Hendo again, because I feel like at times his tracking back. I feel like I can remember at least 1 or 2 times that he really, really helped out Williams in the first half by tracking back. He played a proper captain's role, and he feel like another absolutely solid performance by him and a nice goal.
He had a couple of chances as well, didn't he? Obviously, he got the goal, but there was a couple of other.
Yeah, almost got a second. I feel like there was maybe a deflection which looked like it might have been deflecting in, but I think it didn't quite go. Wanted to quickly do score predictions because I wrote them down. I think Jake went for a 2-0 Salah Firmino. I went for a 2-1 Salah Mane, and you went for a 2-0 Mane Salah. So. Well,
I was out of it.
Well done, us,
straight away because Mane didn't start.
I don't really know. I don't really know what we do on the point. Is it like if you get the scorers right, you get a point, or if you get one of them right, you get a point? I don't know, because I'm not really fussed either way, to be honest. But
I think
either way, none of us are really on the money.
Yeah, per scorer is a point. So if you get the scorer right. In fact, you know what we should do? We should just do first goal scorer, because that's easier to predict, and then we should do, if you get all the run of goals right, 3 points, and then the score is a point.
Yeah,
that's what we'll do. But as you say, it doesn't matter because we were all wrong. So
yeah.
But before we move on to the next game, you mentioned then about Klopp's press conference this morning. Obviously, in terms of news-wise, nothing's really happened because it's only been, 3 days? But he did mention pretty much, I know it's been like speculated, but he pretty much confirmed that we have seen the last of Lallana and he will be leaving.
Yeah, I've got a note of that too, to be honest. I was very sad when I read it. I completely understand. I was thinking about it and then I sort of clicked because I thought, I mean, I'm sure he'll give him a run out. But then I realised, actually, if he gave him a run out, it would probably be at Liverpool's last home game. But I thought there's no fans, so it's a bit of a mixed one because I thought maybe you could either start him and then bring him off at some point, and do that typical thing where he'd go off to a standing ovation from the fans. But I mean, it would be a strange one coming on and walking off to silence, wouldn't it? So
yeah. It's a shame.
Really a bit of an odd one.
He definitely deserves it. Deserves his little standing ovation and his sending off and that. But
yeah. But I guess I appreciate that he's stayed on. And I guess, he said he is there. He is in the squad if needed.
Yeah.
But it's also in his best interests too, because he has had a few injuries and he is getting on a bit. Lallana he wouldn't want to unnecessarily risk him to get an injury and then jeopardise his chances of wherever is next to him. But I did write down he joined Liverpool in 2014, so he's had a good stint. He is one of the longest serving Liverpool players currently. I think I'm trying to think. Might be second behind. I've lost track. Maybe second behind Henderson. I'm not too sure. But I think he's made 128 appearances in the league for Liverpool and scored 18 goals in that time. And I want to mention two of my favourite Lallana moments very quickly. One, scoring I think the 5th goal and I think a 5-4 victory against Norwich many moons ago, and then running to celebrate and I think helping break Klopp's glasses. That was a phenomenal moment. And also, I feel like a very, very important goal was the sort of tapping he got against United earlier this season, because that, I really do question whether if he didn't score that goal and Liverpool didn't remain unbeaten at that point, whether they would have had the same mentality and would have put together such a run after that. So I feel like that was a very important goal, and I will always fondly remember him for it.
Yeah, I think that was really influential to the season. Especially United, because it carries a bit more weight on it.
So, Adam, I wish you well. Thank you for being good for Liverpool.
Where do you reckon he's going to go?
Yeah,
because there's rumours about Leicester, isn't there?
Yeah, all signs point to Leicester. Wherever he goes, I mean, it seems to be it will be Leicester. I think wherever he goes, I hope he gets game time, but. And I hope he stays fit. Good, he is a talent.
Yeah, I think he's great, to be honest. He's a little creative midfielder himself, isn't
he? Yeah, I feel like he's good with both his feet, and he's very technical, and I don't think you tend to see that very much, especially when he was in the England team. I
seem to remember.
It's good. He's a friend.
I can't remember if it was last season or this season, but he got a few starts in the Champions League. And I remember him being amazing. We hadn't seen him much, and then he got these starts in the Champions League, and I was like, wow, he just seemed to be on it. It was he made the most of every opportunity he was given, which is also nice to see because it shows that he's not bitter about being on the bench all the time or whatever. And I believe Klopp's also mentioned a couple of times that he's one of the bigger, more influential characters in the dressing room as well, which is also important.
Well, I guess, yeah, especially with his experience. So, I mean, they will be losing a fair bit, but I guess maybe at his age now, he probably would be looking to maybe get more game time, while he's still able to. And I think probably trying to play on this Liverpool team might be a bit much for him week in, week out now. So, hope he stays fit. I would like to see him at Leicester.
Yeah, me too. That would good old Brendan.
Right. Shall we look to the next fixture?
Sure. Which is Burnley.
Ooh, Burnley. It's going to
Back
be
at
a hard
home.
game.
Do you reckon?
I mean, I feel like it will be. Let's have a look. I mean, off the top of my head, I feel like Burnley have been on a decent run of form. I could be wrong there. I could have that completely wrong. But I feel like Burnley have been all right. Let me just quick look that up. I mean, it's at home. I'm hoping Liverpool continue the home wins. I don't think it's going to be an easy game by any means. Let me just quickly pull up. So I think since the restart, Burnley have had a 1-0 away win at Crystal Palace, a 1-0 home win at Watford, got smashed by Man City 5-0 away, and then most recently had a 1-1 draw at home with Sheffield United. So, based off that, they don't seem to be a team with many goals in them. So that sort of fills me with confidence that I'm pretty convinced that Liverpool can put at least two past them at Anfield, but I don't think it's going to be an easy game.
Well, so last time we played them at Turf Moor, it ended 3-0 to Liverpool. So take from that what you will. Are Burnley currently... Have they got anything to play for? Where are they in the league?
Where are they? Let me have a quick look. I feel like they're in no man's land. Yeah, they are. I mean, the 9th. I'd say maybe they're in with a. I'm trying to think how if Man City's ban comes off, that means 5th is Champions League, and 6th would be Europa League. So at the moment they are 3 points off 6th. So,
and it's fairly close,
with a bit of a shout.
Only 1 point above.
But they do have. They do have to get. But I said that does depend on Wolves, Sheffield, and Arsenal dropping points, who all have an advantage on them, including a huge goal difference advantage. Because Burnley look to concede goals, which is probably in Liverpool's favour, really.
I think it's going to be a Liverpool win, certainly, because it's at home again, and they'll want to keep that record going of the league wins at home. I think it's going to be fairly comfortable. I don't think it's going to be easy. I reckon Burnley will get something out of it, but I still think it's going to be comfortable. I'll give my score prediction in a minute. Do we want to do a lineup prediction first?
Okay, lineup prediction. Normal back four being back to Robbo. Midfield, not too sure. I'll have to. I mean, I'm dubious as to Henderson at the moment, and what that knock's like, because Klopp tends to, if you get a knock, will leave someone out. But
especially with it being only a couple of days away as well.
So I would probably, I reckon, Fabinho, Keita, Wijnaldum in midfield.
I definitely think Keita is going to get another chance because he's out it. Fabinho probably just because a little bit ropey in defence today. So I think they've shown that we probably need his presence. And then, it's kind of up in the air whether Hendo plays or not. I agree if he doesn't that it will be Ginny though. Front three is a tricky one, I think.
Front three.
I'm going to say Mo.
Salah.
Yeah.
He probably wants to be... Klopp probably wants to rest Mo, and Mo probably will outright refuse.
Yeah,
so
I think Salah's definitely playing.
I think it's going to be the usual. I think it's going to be back to usual front three, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I think it is as well. I would like Minamino to get a start, especially against Burnley. I feel like he could get a goal in this game, especially if he got 90 minutes. However, with Bobby's record of like no goals at Anfield, I think he's going to want to start as well, to be honest. So I just don't see it. I think it's going to be the usual front three, or as much as I would like Minamino to get a start.
Yeah.
I can see him coming on late though and getting out a run, but
I hope so.
I hope it's a little longer than 5 minutes though.
Score prediction.
I'm gonna go 3-1 to Liverpool, obviously.
I'm gonna go. Oh, go on. Okay, you're going 3-1.
Yeah.
Where are these goals coming from? Mo.
Yeah. I'm gonna say Bobby. First goal. He's gonna get it. And then I'm gonna say
big shout.
I'm gonna say 2 for Mo. I think it's probably not gonna be. I think Mane's gonna get one because he's probably thirsty for it, but I really want Mo to get this golden boot, so I'm gonna go Bobby, Momo. The goal from Burnley is gonna come after Bobby's goal. So I think it's going to go to 1-1, and then I'll knock 2 in.
Okay. I'm going to go really ambitious here. I'm going to say 1-0 Salah.
Fair play. I'd be happy with that, to be fair, as long as Mo gets his goal and keeps plugging away at that golden boot.
I'm hoping he gets 5, but
yeah, hopefully he gets 7. But
we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
To be honest, I hope.
No, sorry. Burnley do concede, so
yeah, and they've only got.
Looking
at their stats, they've got 1 goal in them. So definitely potentially for a few goals to be a winning score and run rampant. I hope
this is when it finishes 3-1.
Hit that bloody no. I hope Minamino gets a longer run, and I hope he gets a goal. I'm basing my score off the fact that I want Salah to get a golden boot, but if Minamino comes on and puts one away, then good for him.
Very good for him. Right, okie dokie.
Yeah, I think that'll do it.
Any closing words? I'm relieved. Mid-game heart attack territory, but thankfully a much more relaxing final 15 for once. So yeah. I'm glad.
It felt immediately much more relaxing when he made that change when Mane came on. So, shout out to Bobby. Thought he was pretty good all game, and especially for leaving that goal for Mo as well. Little legend.
What a hero. Well done, Bobby. Onwards and upwards to Burnley on 3 o'clock on Saturday.
Yeah, go and get your goal. Good luck to you.
Right.
And we'll see you
for now.
next time. Matt done it.